Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the VR Link. How you doing, guys? How you doing, Matt? You all right? You good?
I am great today.
Excellent stuff. How you doing, everyone in the chat? Thank you for being here. Welcome to episode 2 of the Wednesday weekly podcast, where you can find us live every Wednesday on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at 7 p.m. BST, 2 p.m. EST, and 11 a.m. PT. On this show, we discuss the latest news, games, and goings-on in virtuality. My name's GT, your multi-platform VR gameplay provider, and alongside me each and every week is Matt, the king of Quest content over at BMF.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you guys are doing good today.
Nice. For the audiophiles amongst you, you can follow the show and listen again on Spotify and Anchor. Just search the VR Link podcast, or you can use our links in description. And a quick note, this will be expanding very soon. Thank you to the legendary patrons and channel members whose names are listed below. And if you enjoy the show and are looking for ways to support the channel, please check the links in the description and consider joining the community Discord for the latest VR news and multiplayer meetups. Before we get into this week's news, a lot of information from our show is sourced from our friends at Upload VR and Road to VR. So be sure to head over there and give them a follow. We'd also like to thank this week's sponsor, which is Virtual Rifle Systems. Now, personally, I haven't used this product, but I have seen it. Obviously, it looks fantastic. So I'm going to head over to Matt, who's going to tell you all about it.
Yeah, so Virtual Rifle Systems makes rifle stocks for virtual reality, obviously, according to the name. They make them for pretty much every popular controller out there. The Quest is the one that I've used. I've actually got a Mark II, but they just released a Mark III within the last month. I'm hoping to get my hands on one really soon, and it just looks absolutely amazing. I mean, some people say, why does it have to look cool? Well, in my mind, it looking cool just helps sell the fact. People also say stuff about the occlusion, that it won't be able to see the controllers, especially with the Quest, which I've not had an issue with. It's just an overall really well-built piece of equipment. And the Mark III, one of the things people were worried about was the fact that it put weight on the rings for like the Rift S or for the Quest. And with the Mark III, they've added support so that when you are holding the controllers, it slightly weighs on like the top of your thumb, for instance. It's not enough weight to be annoying, but enough so that you can feel it, and it reduces the amount of stress on the actual rings, just in case that anybody was worried about that. But I never had issues with it.
I would be worried about that because they do seem quite fragile, and you see the horror stories over on Reddit. Of people, they just, you know, they break, and at the end of the day, that would completely ruin my game. But yeah, so I went onto the website. They do look fantastic. I would love to try one out at some point. But you're saying that where the touch controllers are, it feels more natural. Now, personally, I don't shoot many guns. I don't know if you shot many guns. Have you shot many guns?
I've shot several in my lifetime. I'm not an avid gun shooter. I don't go to the range very often, but I have done it.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, that's cool. I think they look really good. I hope that is something. I mean, do they deliver to the UK and all that? Because obviously the only ones I know of, which a lot of people use, are the Pro Tube.
Yep.
And these ones go on top, don't they? So it's a completely different way. You know, and I take it it's still magnetized.
It is, yeah. It uses magnets. They're really strong magnets, but they loosen up enough when you take your pull off the controller. It works really well, and they do ship overseas, internationally. So it's delayed probably right now. There's a notice on their website, depending on everything going on in the world, it can be delayed, but they do ship internationally.
Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, cool. I think it looks pretty good. How you doing, guys? And you got the lovers of the Pro Tube. You're going to have like Virtual Rifle Systems matches versus Pro Tube people. That'd be pretty cool. So, where is the image at hand? The one that is now sending shockwaves throughout the community. We are now looking at the Oculus Quest 2, the white, the light, the nano, the turbo, the deluxe, or dare I say it, the S. No one will want that to be called that. This image dropped today from a reputable source known on Twitter as Walking Cat. Matt, what are your thoughts on this? And guys in the chat, let us know what you think about this. Let us know what you think about this image.
I'm torn. On the one hand, I love the coloring and the styling of like the new paint job. Essentially, I think it looks cool. Probably would get dirty pretty easy. I'm afraid. There's some things in the image that I don't know if they concern me, but they kind of make me feel conflicted. Like for instance, the lack of an IPD slider, a physical slider. I think could be a mistake depending on how they handle that. I don't know about you, but I've had a couple of times using my Quest. I've had it for over a year now, and if I jerk my head just the right way, sometimes the slider will move slightly and it'll show up in my headset. I don't know if you've had that happen or not.
Mm.
And so that may be the reasoning behind either moving it. If we can't see it, maybe it's somewhere else, or if it's gone completely. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on it?
I think it looks gorgeous. I really do. I love it. I like the contrast between the white and the black. I think it looks superb. So there's two bits that I picked up from looking at this image, and it's especially prominent in the picture on which would be on everyone's screen. I think it would be their left. The touch controller down the bottom. There's like a ledge that we've never seen before sticking out. That's interesting. When we spoke to, I think it was Terrell, he mentioned it might be the new way they're dealing with the battery cover. So just to see that in general, I was a bit like, that's quite interesting. If you go up close to this image though, and I messed around with the contrast and the sharpening and stuff, there's certain parts that make it not look real as much as it sometimes looks real, like the head strap as well. As I think you pointed out in your video, mate, you put out today, the reverse wire's gone. Like the shape that goes over the back of your head. I think I've got my original one on now, have I? I think so. Let me just grab this. Yeah, so obviously you have this. So at the moment, this is the AMVR thing. We're thinking about showing off some stuff on the show as well at some point, talking about products we're using currently. So I'm using the AMVR. I've gone back to the original strap. It is a pain going from the Halo strap to this, because you literally got to like get tweezers to pull all this stuff back through. So two things, there's the Y strap missing, so it's now like it looks like just a round strap, which seems like a backward step to me. And also it doesn't look like these straps are going to move in and out, but then as we know, on the back of the headset there is like a white bit of plastic randomly just hanging off it. I don't know whether that's where the extensions are going to be inside the plastic strap.
There's a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense on this specific image, whether this is a prototype image that isn't finalized, that got leaked, or there's some things that we can't see based on the angle of the image, because like you said, the plastic hanging down in the back could be maybe Velcro, that you adjust the Velcro in the back for the tightness, which would be kind of weird. But I mean, there's a whole bunch of questions to be asked. Whether it's real or not, I have no idea, but it's definitely causing a stir right now online.
And we're going to head over to check, because we're not sure if it's a positive stir.
Right.
So let's have a look. What have we got in the chat? Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you to the now called Notification Squad. I've noticed in live streams that's what they're calling themselves, so that's pretty cool. What have we got? Let's have a look. iQuest says Artful. Quest S says Novice. The VR Realm says white. He's not happy about that. Artful says it looks very Apple and he's not a fan. Head strap looks like a downgrade. I do agree, but then at the same point, I'm thinking this update, if this is real, is going to be to bring the cost down, I'm assuming, and attack the comfort issue.
The thing that I'm a little bit worried about, thinking about it now, I hadn't realized this before, because the straps are no longer adjustable, any of the Halo straps or any of the gear we have right now are not compatible anymore.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you can see on the side of it right now, you can undo the Velcro and pull the strap out, and they figure out a way to make a Halo strap, or you've been able to use the other versions or whatever, and that just doesn't going to happen if this is the case.
That makes it very possibly real, because Facebook will be like, we want that cash. We don't want you buying these accessories anymore. Because at the end of the day, right, and as much as I love the accessories, I do, because for me personally, especially the Go Quest VR currently, and actually the AMVR thing, if you've got a traditional Quest and strap, is a very good solution at the moment. Is at the end of the day, you might say to someone on your channel, which I'm sure you do thousands of times, I love the Quest. I think the tech for £399, same as yours is $399, is amazing value for what you're getting. Then, sort of think to yourself, but hold on a minute, you might want to buy an external battery, and you might want to buy the Vive audio strap, and then you might want to explore different ways, because people wanted to get rid of the issue with the battery cover. So then they go, right, well, we'll get some grips as well, you know, while you're in there. And it's all these little things that I actually think would make sense that Oculus would go, right, what are we trying to attack here? What is the real point of this, of another step? And I'm thinking the technology is not going to change. It's just going to be cheaper, hopefully smaller, which means lighter. You also mentioned that looks like the change in auxiliary placement.
Yeah, it looks like if obviously all speculation, if this was real, that the USB port, C port is moved down and behind the audio jack in direct alignment with it. So right now my Quest isn't right in front of me, but the USB C port, as you were just showing, is diagonally on the front faceplate, whereas now, according to this, it's moved back behind where the audio jack is. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense if that's the case. Yeah, right there. It makes sense because it's kind of placed oddly right now. So plugging in with Link is a little bit weird, and it can pull in the front of your headset. It'd be easier to wrap the Link cable around the strap if it was farther back instead of being farther forward. So, I mean, that part does make sense. I don't know. Obviously, it's all speculation because nobody really knows anything about it.
No. But yeah, I mean, the Walking Cat, as we said before, appears to be a reputable, respected source.
Yeah, he's released some leaks before, and they've been true. That doesn't, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to put all my apples in that basket and say that's definitely going to be the case. But, I mean, you never know. I mean, this could be something that in a month we hear official launch, this is what's happening for OC7, or we may never hear about it again.
Yeah, so, I mean, how old is the Quest now? It's over a year old, isn't it?
Yeah, a year in May. So we're about, a year and 4 months old or something like that.
So if they drop this and they drop a price reduction, to me, dude, the Quest feels so new still. It is
new still.
It doesn't feel like we've been here long covering Quest.
No, it still feels relatively new, and everything's gone by so quick. So, I mean, and if this was not an upgrade, but a side grade, kind of like we talked about, I think we talked about it last week, it's probably designed to be cheaper to get more people to jump into it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some things on Twitter, obviously, because I posted about our show, and someone wrote like, blah blah blah. They weren't happy with the head strap. They weren't happy with certain things. But imagine if it come in at $299, and then, as we know, Facebook are not just going to chuck anything out. They're going to make sure this is comfy, and then someone tries it on and goes, dude, $300, £300. This is amazing.
Imagine how many more people would be jumping into that platform if it was that much. And it would make sense to lower the price and have a headset. I saw a comment. What was it? I don't know if it was on your post or where was it? Somebody posted on Twitter something about what if they it was a removal of something else. I can't remember what it was now, but it's little teeny pieces that would make the original Quest better as far as the body goes, like things that are included with it. But this one could be lighter and less expensive in design to launch almost with the Facebook Horizon, almost like a social headset where you get it and it's lighter so you can spend longer time in it. They push it as this is the social headset. We're launching this along with Facebook Horizon because this is the place you want to be and you only got to pay $299 to get there.
Dude, and that is where the adverts will be. So yeah, they want to. That's where they want. They want to get you in there. They want to be advertising. What we got? Jude. I don't know what. Jude doesn't like the colours. Get to the Chop says, I would be sad if that is legit, the new Quest, as there is no Halo strap. How much more comfortable would it be? I think we've always got to bear in mind the weight is the issue. It's the weight that pushes so much. I'm assuming still you're going to be able to do interchangeable faceplates. Obviously, by the looks of it, that's something I don't think they can change. And a new thing I received actually was lens protectors. Now the issue I had straight away with lens protectors, I couldn't use any of them because I have the slim VR cover attachment on here. So no, actually no, I've got the original at the moment because I'm testing all this out. So then, if when I'm testing it, it basically means that no one's bought anything for their Quest. This is a standard setup. But normally I use the VR Cover Slim, and what it did was, as soon as I put it on, I was like straight on my face, and because my lenses must be so close to my eyes, I didn't even realise from the Slim. But I prefer that because it gives me an enhanced field of view. I feel because I feel closer to everything. What do you use for your insert or anything? Do you just use this?
I just have the standard one right now. I had the VR cover. I put it on, and at the time, it just didn't fit right. I don't know. Originally, there was a version that they came out with when it first launched that it didn't fit properly in the nose section.
Right. Yes, that's true. The faceplate was
so,
wrong, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep. So I still have that version. I haven't bought anything else. I got that one, and then just haven't taken the time to get anything else.
Right. Okay.
That was the other thing to mention about this is it looks like it could be silicone around. Around the faceplate instead of the cloth faceplate.
You mean this?
Yeah. Well, that too, but around the eye plate where you've got your eye where your eyes sit. If you zoom in the image, it's shiny.
Oh yeah. I see that.
So that probably wouldn't be the case no matter what it is. But like Sony with the PSVR, you have the silicone around your nose and it kind of hits up against your face and it's more comfortable. I mean, it's possible something like that could be in the works, but that would probably make it more expensive, not cheaper.
I'll be honest, the more I look at this headset, the more I think it looks amazing. Like the color, I love the look of it.
That purple lighting that they've got shining on it in the picture, whoever did that, whether it's fake or not, makes it look real nice.
Absolutely. Novice says. Okay, so Novice says, I think it will be cheaper and more people could get it. Yeah, I mean, the Quest is storming anyway. It's doing so well. Derivative says, the missing IPD will anger a lot of people. It definitely will. It was the biggest criticism of the Rift S. And I'm sure on your video, you've probably had similar comments, I'm imagining.
Yeah. People don't want that to go away. And I really don't either because I like having a physical slider. It'll depend on if they took it out to make it cheaper, so it's lighter. I mean, it is a component that doesn't have to be there if they're going to make it cheaper. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're probably trying to cater for the masses, and the masses are going to have a certain IPD range, which I'm assuming they can cater for digitally. I don't know about you. When you're playing your Quest, does it ever knock it out of measurement? Do you ever get that? You ever?
Sometimes, yeah. The longer I've been playing it, that it actually it'll pop up and say, that the IPD has changed. Or that they got the indicator inside, which I kind of wish I could shut off because every once in a while I'll turn around real fast and it'll change it slightly so that the indicator pops up and it's moved a number. So I mean it's loosening based on other people trying it, based on making sure it's in the right spot. So physical slider, I understand the want to go away from that because it is another component that can go bad and loosen up. But I think that hopefully there's a creative way to go around that so that whatever the next thing we do have, we can still physically adjust.
One of the other comments as well we are seeing is, was there any rumors or leaks about FOV improvement to the Quest?
No, it was literally just an image. There wasn't any comments or anything about the image itself. The only thing that the original tweet had on it was a comment saying that they thought that it was going to be called Quest 2, which kind of throws some red flags for me because I don't think that Oculus will release a Quest 2 yet. I think that they just got to the point where they're actually being able to fulfill a lot of their orders for the Quest.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make a lot of sense to be able to be already getting a new headset rolling when they're still trying to catch up on orders for the original Quest.
It would be an awful move.
Yes, I think so too.
It would be awful. As I said, it still feels virtuality is just like running. It's just hard to keep up. Obviously I do like multiples headsets, and it's just like the Quest for me still feels the freshest. It still feels the newest. I mean that I think if this is real, we don't know if it is. Obviously, like we said it again. If it does turn out to be real, that'd be all. I actually think a light version or a lighter version or a cheaper version would be more than welcome. I really do. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, they could probably even sell it cheaper with the touch controllers if it didn't have haptic feedback, if they were trying to get into a less expensive market, by stripping down the controllers and having them be different, which is why some of the plasticing could be different on the controllers themselves. There's a lot of things they could potentially do that gamers wouldn't want the full VR experience, but like I said, social experiences or, the general audience would be okay with.
Yeah. Yeah, once as I said in the chat, there is nothing about FOV. I've not seen anything about that. Where are we now? Noisy Neo Easy Neo is B. How you doing? I've said his name. There you go. You got me. Thank you ever so much for joining us, guys. Yeah. So I don't know what I'd say to people at the moment. I mean, I wouldn't tell them to hold off on the Quest because we don't know anything about this.
No.
This is a very good looking image that everyone is now talking about. Do you know what does give it a bit of credibility in my mind? The cheaper thing is that actual vertical strap looks cheap.
Yeah.
It looks really cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it, you know, and like a couple of the points we brought up, that does make me think this is possible. And we know something is happening.
Yeah, possible for what I would consider a light version, which the color scheme changing makes sense. Having something be lighter physically, lighter visually, so that they can differentiate it between the more heavier, essentially older upgraded version as far as some of the aspects go, if there's downgrades as far as the different parts and the pieces that go into it, because I can't imagine the technology changing at all, but I can definitely see them changing out some of the premium, what I would call premium things, even though they're not really premium, like the strap, for instance, switching out to a cheaper material and switching some of the fabric, that fabric around the outside of the Quest itself feels premium. Even though it gets dirty, it feels premium.
So I can't say the source of it, but I was very lucky to check out the Quest very early on before launch, and someone told me that they had two versions of this. Anyway, it wasn't always like this feel. I don't know. I mean, I remember when I first touched it, I thought it was like a denim. I was like, what is this? I was like, what is this? But yeah, so someone said there was a different version anyway, right at launch that had a different wraparound. So that was interesting because they said to me when it launches, it might not be that version, but it was that one. So let's jump into some news, which means this week I'm going to roll the news intro. Are you ready? Here we go. Boom, we are back. Look at that. I got it in there this week. I always forget about the news intro. So, first bit of news. Paper Beasts is coming to PC VR. I think it is it might, I don't know if it's out right now or it comes out soon. It comes from the creator of the legendary Another World, and it's coming on the 24th. So it comes out in 2 days. Nice. Yep. There will be new animals, plants, and a continuous movement system compared to the PSVR version of the game, which was a teleport-only affair. When asked if Pixel Reef will update the PSVR version, they said they have no plans to do so currently. That's not very nice.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
I like the idea that it's coming to PC VR because I'll be able to check it out. I have the PlayStation VR, but I just don't use it enough to be able to play it. But it looks like a very interesting game. I want to try it. Yeah,
I've played it. I didn't actually get to finish it. I've always meant to. Honestly, I'm doing so much. I do mean to go back sometimes. I never got to go back to it. But when I started playing it, dude, it is like, how can I put it? What is that? I'm trying to think of a couple of films. It's like a never-ending story feel game. It's very weird. There's certain moments in there that the music and the graphics and the environment can really make you feel odd. Like, not in a bad way, like in a mysterious, like, wow, this is very whimsical feeling game. It's very different. It's very unique. I would definitely check it out. It was weird to watch these paper beasts interact. Like they're like young versions, and it looks like they're feeding each other, and it's crazy. I'm sure if anyone's checked it out on PSVR, dude, it is not a game you forget about. I don't think you forget about it. I just didn't ever get back to it. But then I did play. Apparently, I played a good 80% of it. You know, I wanted to get it out there, share the experience of it. But yeah, you're going to say you're going to check it out with a link as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'll check it out. It looks really good in the trailer. For PC VR. It looks really good.
Yeah, the trailer that I forgot to download, which we're not watching currently. Yeah, so that went well. What else have we got here? We have got the No Man's Sky. I think it's called the Desolation update. No Man's Sky just launched an update called Desolation that introduces derelict freighters, and players can search for supplies and salvage items after getting the location information from scrap dealers. But beware, these ships aren't left untouched. Along with lethal on-board defense mechanisms, some ships you'll also find aliens living in organic matter. You can explore these procedurally generated environments. I love the word procedurally generated. With procedural stores unique to each location with a friend, which is awesome. This update also brings in improved effects such as bloom and combat mechanics. So yeah, I did download the update. Someone said to me, dude, we're going to check this out. And I've got a friend, DJ, who's going to do it. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then the update was something like 12 gig. And I was like, okay. Plus I'm live streaming. So I'm like, well, I can't do both. So I have to pause that. And then like today I thought, I'll jump in and check it out. Obviously Dreams come out. That's not happened. But No Man's Sky had another like 700, 800 megabyte update. So yeah, you know, I'm sort of thinking, I don't know when I'm going to check this out. It might be at the weekend. Because the problem with No Man's Sky, and I hear it, anyone who plays games to show them knows that No Man's Sky isn't a game that you can just play and make it look good. It's a really tough. It's not an easy game. It's a deep game. No. You know, it's not.
This new update looks very creepy. Reminds me of like Alien or something.
Yeah, a lot of people say Dead Space.
Oh yeah, Dead Space too. Yeah, it looks really cool. I have actually not played No Man's Sky in VR.
Are you telling me that we need to do this?
Yeah, I think so.
That would be awesome, man.
I've played it, just the traditional flat version, but I have not played it in VR.
It is very good. Like taking off from what we might have to do is invest some hours because we've got to get you a ship. I was quite lucky when I was streaming it on PSVR, because I stopped streaming it on PSVR because every update that come, everyone wanted to know, is this the PSVR Pro update? Are we going to get some better get rid of the blur? And it never happened. I don't think so anyway. I'm sure that would spread around if it did get rid of the blur. So, yeah, I'll have to get it on PC and we'll have to possibly check out some of these crazy looking areas. They do look really good though.
Yeah, they look. You're gonna probably hear me screaming to myself if we play through it, because I'm a wuss when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I'll have you back, man. I'll have you back. What we got? Who we got? I can't keep up with it. And Midlife says he can't keep up with No Man's Sky. Same dude. I can't. Limitless says GT and BMF No Man's Sky live stream needs to happen. We will try and make it happen. Without a doubt, that'd be really cool just to explore. And I need to get to know the game. I know a bit of the game. You can't help but learn stuff while you're playing it, but you never stop learning at the same time. You know?
It looks massive. I mean, I've only played a limited amount of it, just normal, you know, the traditional version. I can't even imagine how much better it is playing in VR.
Do you know one of the best things about the game, one of the most unforgettable things, is when you go to like warp or light speed, whatever it's called. It looks beautiful. And just leaving and entering atmospheres, that is wicked. Like, you don't really forget that, you know what I mean? Oh, for anyone else got lo-fi, your man Matt has just got it. Where is he? There he is, over there. Matt's just got lo-fi.
Yep, I haven't had a time to put too much time into it, but I mean, from what I've seen, it looks beautiful.
Dude,
I mean,
it's
visually, it's like, and it's got like this grunge feel to it. I think I mentioned this to you the other day. It's like this grungy feel, but it almost has like this filter over the visuals that feels like you're watching a movie, like from like the 80s, where you got the grain over the imagery. I mean, it's just really cool.
Yeah, I turned that grain off just because I'm so used to doing it in flat games. I can't stand film grain and smoothing and stuff. But yeah, I ultimately turned that off. But I know what you mean, and it does. It gives it a gritty feel. Lo-fi for me is absolutely unforgettable. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on it, because I'll never forget the intro. I can hear the music right now. Like when I went into that game, and there's like a holographic stripper dancing on a pole. And with the music, I was like, Jesus, this is incredible. And then you got your own flying police car, and like Tron cycles come flying down the road, and everything's like purple and rainy looking. You're like, This is so cool. So yeah, I look forward to hearing your thoughts on that. But yeah, derivative GT hates the 80s, mate. I am from the 80s. I love it. Until You Fall, unless he's probably just being the opposite. Until You Fall, crossbuy has been confirmed for the Quest. Developer Shell Games just confirmed if you pick up the Quest version, you'll get the Rift version for free, or vice versa. We're still waiting for a release date, but it's estimated this fall. We also know that Until You Fall is coming to PSVR around the same time soon. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Have you checked this one out, Matt, as well? Until You Fall.
Yep, I played it through Link. I couldn't get it to work properly for some reason when I first tried it through Virtual Desktop on the Quest. I have since played it on that, but yeah, I've played through a fair amount of it. It's a fun game. It's challenging.
Yeah, physically.
Yes, physically challenging for sure. Yeah, it definitely gets you sweating and tired if you play it long enough, which is one thing I'm excited for with the Quest version, because I think that I can play it with Virtual Desktop and it works well, but just the ability to be able to not have to connect to anything and just have a standalone version of it, I think is going to be cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to do fantastically on the Quest. I think whatever sales they've made, I think they're going to get a lot more on the Quest. It's a beautiful game. I love the music. I love the graphic style. And I love the fact that the weapons, as we spoke about before in the VR Link, we have spoke about it before, the weapons have weight, and that then affects your play style.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. What was your loadout when you played it? How did you go in there? Because I think they've added weapons now, but I think you had like a dagger, a sword.
Yep, I had a dagger in one hand and a sword in the other. Is the way I played it.
Exactly.
Try to parry with the dagger and slash with the with the sword. At least that's what I did when I played through it.
That's exactly what you should do, man. That's exactly what you should do. When I first played this, I think I got beta access to live stream it from them, and I was a little bit confused by the movement system, because when you watch the trailer, it looks super fast, like you're dashing into people and you're but that is a separate move. The dash is an ability that does run out. You got to manage it. But when you actually move around, like they asked for some feedback, and I was like, why do you feel like an old person when you're not dashing? I don't get it. I was like, it's so complete, like, contrasts of like yeah, bang, speed into them, but when I'm not using that ability, I'm walking really slowly.
Yeah. I guess they probably wanted the dash to feel faster, so they slowed down the locomotion, the general locomotion. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, I found that really strange, but I think this is going to be a huge hit. Shell Games, what was the other game they made that everyone loves? The puzzly one.
Yeah.
It's got the amazing intro.
I can't remember the name of it now.
Everybody Wants You to Die or something.
Oh yeah. Now you've asked me, and I can't remember what it is. It's, the chat's gonna show us.
The chat will do it. The chat will do it. I hope they're just gonna help. What we got? I Expect You to Die. I got there.
Yeah, there it is.
The comment didn't come in. The comment didn't. It's gonna turn up. I know it is. I Expect You to Die. Yeah, legendary developers.
That's what it is. I liked that game too. That was fun.
Yeah, that was excellent, man. That was excellent. What have we got next? Vertigo Remastered discussion. Oh, I wanted to talk about Coaster Combat quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't played it personally. I have picked it up. I do want to check it out. What's your thoughts on that game? I don't think I got a trailer for it today, but I just wanted to pick your brain on it a bit, because just to see what you think of it.
I think it's fun. It's meant obviously for a specific audience, because it's not like a super actiony or an adventure game or a story game. It's just kind of an arcade game where you jump into a coaster and you fly through these different tracks. I went back after, because I played it for the channel, and then I went back and played it again, and I've pretty much beat it now, because it's just good fun. I was sitting on my couch, riding around in coasters, shooting the different targets, trying to get as many points as I could. It looks really good for the Quest, and which was really surprising. I mean, I know the Quest can do a lot of things, but it looked better than I was expecting it to in the Quest. I mean, it's from the Go, and they definitely did some what seems like upgrades. I've never played the Go version, but from what I've seen, it looks like they've done some visual upgrades to it, and it's just fun arcade. I mean, you can ride the coasters by themselves if you want, without the targets.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun to try to get into the leaderboard. When I played it, it was just me. That's the only one on the leaderboard. I guess I was the first one to play it. And since then, a few other people have gone on there, and I had to go in the other day and jump in and get to the top of the leaderboard again, just because I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool, fun simple game, great for people new to VR. I don't think that it's going to, for some reason, I've heard feedback that it doesn't induce a lot of motion sickness. I'm not sure what they did to do that. Maybe it's the car that you're riding in, or the fact that you've got guns to shoot at targets, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Each level has a different theme. I like the Harry Potter one where you have 2 wands and you can shoot at the targets. There's a pirate one. There's a Tron like one where you're like riding like a Tron cycle and you're flying through this city.
I was going to ask you about that level. That was the one that piqued my interest, was the Tron
That
one.
one's cool. That one's fun because you, unlike the other ones, you're on a track. You're on a track part of the time in this one, but it's more like a road, and you actually jump off of it at times and go over jumps and stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there's like an enemy in each level where you just got to hit him, or he throws things at you and you got to shoot at him to stop him from knocking gems out of you or whatever. I mean, it's great fun for kids, and I personally, I guess I'm a kid at heart. I think that it was just good, simple fun, and for the price, I think it's what, $14.99 or is it $9.99? I can't even remember what the price is. It's not a bad price.
Yeah, cool, man. That's the main thing. So moving on to Vertigo Remastered. Just finished my playthrough. I think it was yesterday. I thought this game was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. A lot of people, great feedback on the chat. I think it came out, yesterday. So Monday I had like a 1 day early access or whatever, and so did everyone else. And then it come out. And good news is that if you owned Vertigo originally, and I think it came out like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, because this game has got like a legendary status amongst the original VR people, PC VR people. As me personally, my first year of tubing, I was purely PSVR. So I hadn't really heard of anything about it. And then I played the Vertigo 2 demo because someone said to me, "You got to check this out. It's very much like Half-Life." And I played it and I was like, "Dude, this is really good." The remaster, which is free to original owners, I thought was absolutely fantastic. And the way people reacted on the stream, it was great because they felt the same. They were like, "What is this? What is this game? Like, it's so good."
It looked amazing. It's definitely one I'm going to pick up because I just watching you, I had fun seeing the different set pieces, and it seems very unique.
Yeah.
And I got some Half-Life vibes from it too, but there's some weird, creepy parts to it too.
Weird, man, like crazy weird. Yeah, there's the little squidgy thing that people would have seen. You should come up on your screen in a minute. There's like the weird eye toy thing. I think his name's Frank. When you kill the giant eye, go to where you've blown him up, and there is a squidgy doll called Frank. And if you carry him to the end of the game, apparently you get an achievement.
Yeah.
So, but there is a few nods to Valve because the guy, he is one developer. Apparently he's like 20, 21 years old. Just that alone is, for me, incredible.
It's incredible.
It was better than... It was hard. When I was playing it, dude, I could have gone like, this is in my top 10.
Yeah.
It was like one of those, like, wow. And there's a number of things. The graphics looked awesome. And to be fair, they're not incredibly detailed in places. It's not the art scheme of this. But it was that, the environments, how individual the game is, and the music. The music was absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
It looks really unique and cool. So it's one I'm definitely going to be checking out through probably either virtual desktop or link.
A lot of people have said to me, "Is it coming to Quest? Is it coming to PSVR?" Do you know what? Knowing this guy and knowing anyone who's passionate about VR, they want it multi-platform. They would, of course, they would. So it's just a case.
Being a single dev, that'd probably be very difficult to make happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's it, man. But yeah, absolutely amazing. I really hope you check it out. Limitless put on there, he's been playing the demo, the original Vertigo, a lot and loving it so much. Also been playing the demo Vertigo 2, and it's absolutely epic. Nice. Until you thought he's going up in price, apparently, says Chris Richardson.
Huh, I hadn't heard that.
That's interesting. So since it's cross-buy, what we're saying is probably check it out at a store and get it now.
Yeah. And if it goes on sale, definitely get it now.
Yeah. Boy Brown says he's not. They're talking about synth riders. He's saying he's not a massive rhythm fan of games and stuff. But yeah, that went up in price. So yeah, that was cool. Mighty Quinn, thank you ever so much for the reminder of the thumbs up. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Where are we next? We are going to talk about Inner Space's Mask Maker. Do you know much about this game?
I don't really know anything about it. It looks cool. I mean, I was looking at it the other day. It looks very intriguing, but I don't think there's really anything out about it really besides that video, is there?
Not really. We've got a little bit of news we could talk about. It's just some information in the game. But I thought it was quite weird that when this come up, you then done a video on the Fisherman's Tale. And I was like,
I know.
That's quite weird. The first footage, Inner Space VR, who created Fisherman's Tale, released a trailer of their newest game called Mask Maker. It's a follow-up to A Fisherman's Tale, which, Matt, what did you think of that game?
I thought it was cool. It was really, I dabbled a little bit in the beginning of it before, but never gotten past like the prologue because I just didn't have time. But the second and third level, that fish level was really weird.
Oh, yeah.
Inside the fish.
Yeah, I love that. The game for me in virtual reality is absolutely fantastic. It works so well that you'll never forget that time when you hand yourself something like to make it bigger or smaller. That is absolutely amazing. When I was at Gamescom, and I met, I think it was Vertigo. It would have been Vertigo Games. They had a location-based trailer or a demo or something where I was standing on the other side of another real player, and I was looking at myself. Now I forgot he was there because I had a mirror, and I had to pick my character and stuff, and it was like a piratey theme. And then I just remember like looking around the corner, and his head popped up, and went woo, and I was like, what the hell? And then we left this area, and it was like that. It was like he was giant, and I was really small. So I was on I didn't realise this at the time. I was on a small model ship on a window ledge or something. And in my head, obviously in the VR, it just looks like a normal ship. Yeah, I don't know why I'm tiny at the time until he appears and he goes, "Oh, you'll need this," and he hands me this thing, and I was like, "Virtuality, man!" And the Fisherman's Tale delivers that. That feeling, that strange feeling of size and stuff.
Something that you wouldn't be able to do outside of virtual reality.
No, not at all. I don't think you could pull it off, to be honest. So yeah, it's a follow-up to Fisherman's Tale, and it's due for release next spring. In the game, you meet Prospero, an artist that makes magical masks. He tasks you with solving the mystery behind his creations, sending you on an adventure across 8 new environments. It's currently listed on Steam. And it confirms support for Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and Valve Index, but also coming to PSVR. Unfortunately, there is no word on an Oculus Quest version yet. So, but yeah, the fact it's come from them particular devs automatically makes me excited for this game.
Yeah, it definitely looks very unique. I think that'll be definitely be one I'll be checking out.
Yeah, for sure. So another thing that happened this week in the Quest world was about an update that's coming for multiplayer VR apps. What do we know about this, Matt? What do you know about it so far?
Well, I haven't gotten it yet, but it's supposed to start rolling out this week, supposedly. It's a easier way to jump into games for the people that want to be in a party. So essentially they're revamping the party chat and adding in the ability to jump into games more easily.
Oh,
so I hope it works.
The trouble me and Matt have sometimes just trying to make a video is unreal with that sort of stuff.
The party chat definitely is very challenging. So I'm hoping that they've redesigned it for this, because now you can have up to 8 people in party chat.
You're so polite. It's very challenging. Yeah, it's a constructive way of saying it. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. I like it. It's good.
Yeah. And so what you can do is now jump into games for supported games. There's a list of supported games, a whole bunch of different ones. Echo VR, Raka NX, ProPut. There's a list of them, and you can actually, instead of having to jump, which is a pain, jump into the game, create a new multiplayer lobby, wait for the other players to jump in, and then jump into the match. You can actually jump directly into a multiplayer game from the party chat. So you get 4 players in, because like ProPut, for instance, supports 4-player stroke play now, I think, or if it doesn't, it's going too soon. Yep. So you all jump into a match or into a party chat. You all click on the, whatever the button it is to jump into it, and you can all jump right into the game instead of having to go through the lobby and find the right person, find your friend or whatever.
Yeah, man.
But I think it's going to be good.
It needs it. Like
Yeah.
it's huge. At the end of the day, multiplayer is what will keep multiplayer games. What will keep VR alive.
Yeah.
You know, and playing for a long time. You need that hardcore player base. Yeah, ProPart devs have messaged me and asked if we want to do a 4-player with them.
Yep.
So yeah, you, me, and them. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
There is a lot of issues that party chat has. So my hope is, instead of putting a band-aid on it and adding some stuff to it, Oculus has gone back to the drawing board and is revamping party chat altogether, because otherwise playing in a platform like Horizon when it comes out, it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
Because the platform, you want to be able to not, my hope is with the platform like Horizon is that, well, my screen just went, there we go. My light went off my face. I'm hoping that with Horizon, you're able to jump from Horizon into games. So like you have a hub essentially, and you're like, oh, you know, we're all in Horizon, let's go play whatever.
Like we did in VR chat when we walked around.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So that would be my hope, is what their goal is, which is kind of this is a foreshadowing for that. I think being able to jump directly into multiplayer games is kind of their way of saying, okay, look, we're looking into this, and I'm hoping that means that we're going to be able to walk through a gate or something, you know, like in Ready Player One, where you walk through together into a new other world.
Yeah.
Maybe even lobbies built around these games. I don't know. It would be awesome. But the party chat needs to be fixed, because I don't want to rely on a chat that's built into the platform, because as soon as you leave the platform, you lose connection with whoever you're talking with.
Absolutely.
The party chat needs to be there, and the goal behind it is called what is it? Traveling Together? Is that what it's called? I can't remember what they called it. Let me see.
Travel Together. It's
Travel Together.
Yeah.
So the goal obviously is to bounce from game to game, so you can go from one game to another in the same party. And if they want people to do that, they really need to fix the problems, because some people have hiss with their party chat, some people have static, some people can't get it to work at all.
I was just gonna say, man, like I think the biggest issue I've had, which when everything is working perfectly, it's fine, you know, like when it all works as it should, but suddenly people disappear offline. That's been my biggest issue. Like, me and Matt the other day was filming Hybo, which, story be told, I don't think he recorded some audio or something. And then I deleted the whole video, which I was going to give him the audio from. So Hybo didn't happen. Which is actually really great on side quest. Might as well just say it now. I think it's really good. We had a great time, a great laugh. And yeah, we're hoping to set that up soon. Check that out again. That
was a lot of fun.
It was really good. But yeah, so basically we're together and we're chatting away, everything's fine, and all of a sudden we get thrown out of our party, and I was like, okay, I'll just send him an invite. And he's gone offline. But he hasn't gone offline, has he? You've got to go down to your offline friend list, find him there, send him an invite, which you will get, and then he says to me, dude, you're offline. And I'm like, this has happened before. I think with Get to the Chopper and a few others, I was trying to play Space Team, which I didn't enjoy. And yeah, like that, I think literally all of us just end up being offline. So
yeah, it's definitely, the social platform as a whole really needs some revamping. The last couple of days, I've had issues where some of my social stuff doesn't even show up. I'll go to the social tab in the Quest and I can't see, nobody's online. It's not loading. So, I mean, it's definitely got some things that need to be fixed before they can, which is probably why they haven't launched Horizon yet. Even if the world is ready, they're probably trying to work through some of the problems with that, because it'll tank and crash and burn and all these other analogies that you can think of if it comes out and you can't talk with your friends.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. That's it. I'm sure, as you said, I'm sure it's going to be fine eventually. Derivative says about me, what he said, GT's used to getting kicked out of parties. Do you know what? That happened once at a New Year's Eve party, yeah? So I'm there, I'm about, I don't know, I'm 16 or whatever, and I'm in a good mood. Yeah, I'm in a good mood. Things are good, things are going well. I'm a little bit happier than I should be. And I didn't know, there's a clock, and I thought, I can hear the countdown for midnight. Here we go, it's New Year, right? So I've got 2 cans of beer, shaken up, right? Everyone's on the dance floor. Stroke of midnight, I open the puppies, spread them over everyone, and then I find out that it was actually a rehearsal, and they were rehearsing the hour before. So yeah, popular guy. Like, everyone's just standing there staring at me like, what the hell is this guy doing? So yeah, that was that was a time when I wasn't welcome at a party. So next up, we have Resolution Games developers of Akron and Angry Birds VR have an upcoming game which has 4-player support called Cookout: A Sandwich Tale. It's coming to Oculus Quest, Oculus Rift on September 3rd, but the website also lists it as PlayStation VR, HTC Vive, and WMR headsets potentially compatible. Dude, yeah, like we spoke about this game, didn't we? When it hit on Twitter, we were like, "This looks really cool."
It looks like fun. Yeah. Well, I mean, I love making food. I love eating food, and it's just fun to have anything to do with food. So I'm excited to jump into this and try it.
Yeah, just to let you know, Matt sends me pictures of food. I'll probably get 2 every 48 hours. I reckon. I don't know. It's like, and I think America has some amazing food, and he's proved it to me. Like there is some amazing dishes out there. So, but this game looks wicked. What is the game? I played it on the Switch with my kids. There's a game like this.
Yeah.
It's not. What's this? This is Cookout, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is that game on Switch, man?
I'm trying to see.
I can't believe
Overcooked.
Is it Overcooked? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether this is going to be VR's Overcooked.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it kind of looks like that.
Mm.
I know that it's going to be working together as a team. So I think it's 4-player. Is that what it is? 4-player.
Yeah.
And you got to work together. But it's not just cooking. It's like cooking, and you have to keep away some, I don't know, people that try to come in and steal your ingredients, and they take away half your ingredients list. And so I think it's going to be an entertaining time trying to work together to cook.
This trailer is really superb.
Yeah, it's really cool.
They've done a great job on this trailer, and I love it when it pans out because it looks like, so without knowing much about the gameplay, as this goes on and it pans into the VR side of it, it looks like one person is the head chef. He's the guy telling everyone else what to do, and it looks like they've all got different ingredients as well. So
yeah, I would guess that like one person's probably going to have the ingredients list and is plating the food like you would see in a restaurant. And one person's doing like the main dish, one person doing the side, something like that. It's probably designed so each person has a station, and you have to try to communicate and work together. So like you're doing a salad with chicken, the person that does the meat's got to cook the chicken in time for you to be able to put on the salad in real life, but a very hectic version of it.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is what it looks like for sure.
But it is about sandwiches, right? So, I mean, it's all about making sandwiches. So I don't know exactly what we're going to be cooking and how we're going to be making it, but it is called a sandwich tale. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of sandwiches we get to make.
I love a sandwich.
I
do love a sandwich. So next up on the news is about Waltz the Wizard. He got a sales record just by dropping the price by $2 apparently on the Oculus Quest. The game's retail price is normally $9.99, but on Saturday it was discounted by 20% for one day, and as of writing it sits at number 7 on the top selling list for the Quest. The CEO of Aldin said they have never made as much money in a single day on any other platform. Like,
that's amazing.
I was like, when I saw that, I was like, wow. Do you know what I mean? I actually thought $10 wasn't a bad price for this at all. Anyway,
yeah, it's probably the better hand tracking game right now, especially
officially,
right? Yes, the better official hand tracking game, and it's a lot. I mean, it's fun. I played it before hand tracking, and I thought it was intriguing. Of course, I love anything to do with magic, and then I played it with hand tracking, and it's fun. Obviously, hand tracking is one of those things that you kind of got to be in the mood for, because it's not like it's not as easy to play as using traditional controllers. Let me put it that way. So it's still early stages of really doing it, and I think that it's fun. But this game does the best at it because there's different things you can do. I haven't jumped in and checked out the new update. They've got like the electric fingers or lightning fingers, like from Palpatine.
Yeah,
you can do now. I guess there's even an update coming out for the actual experience as well with more content.
Yeah, I'd say, I don't know if it's luck or not. I never got around to playing it, first of all. So when the hand tracking came out, I was like, dude, now's the time. And I checked out Elixir and this in the same stream, I think it was. and I was blown away by Waltz of the Wizard. Really blown away. I loved it. I thought it was really clever. Great use of VR as well, not just hand tracking.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, some people don't like hand tracking or they dismiss it because there is no haptic feedback. Yeah. But I think your mind makes a connection more so with hand tracking. Do you agree with that? Do you think that?
Yeah, I think so. I've played a couple other things that I'm probably not supposed to say anything about, and there definitely is a different type of connection when you use your physical hands than when you're using controllers. You, as somebody that plays VR all the time, I know you do and I do all the time, you just kind of, the controllers become a part of you. When you're playing with it, you just kind of forget you're holding them for the most part, and you instinctively grab things with the grip button. You instinctively move with an analog stick or whatever you're using. But so it does take getting used to, even as a someone that's used to gaming in VR with your hands, because you got to adjust to it. But I think it feels really, really natural. And I think even without the haptic feedback, which obviously it would be great if you could have gloves that allowed for haptic feedback.
Oh, dude, no,
that would be amazing.
Of course it would. Imagine that. Oh man, getting the pants would be awesome.
I can't even imagine what crazy that would feel to go and grab a bottle in Half-Life Alyx and feel the pressure of the bottle in your hand. You know what I mean? That we're probably headed there someday. It's not there yet, but yeah, haptic feedback on hands. It's something that's hopefully going to come and it'll make it a lot better. But I think your mind does do some weird things and allows you to almost feel it. It's not really feeling.
I know. Yeah.
Like I played a game on Side Quest that you could just mess around with a whole bunch of things. I don't know if you played that one. It's like the hand tracking something. I can't.
It's the one with it's the one you've got the white cell shaded hands and like you can paint an egg.
Yes. Yeah.
That for me so far I think is the best.
Yep.
There's that in the Microsoft Surfaces.
Yep.
Those two unofficially are the two most amazing uses I've had of hand tracking. And like you're saying, your brain sort of tries to make a connection between something should be there, and I think almost that something should be happening is enough to trick you into thinking it kind of a little bit is happening.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, and there's even an update coming out for that experience on Side Quest 2. I don't know if you saw that. It's going to add even more to it as far as like how it tracks your hands. It's going to use, I can't remember how they're doing it, but it's a combination of hand tracking and I can't remember what he said, but you know how when you grab something in VR, it kind of sticks to your hand. I don't know what the technical term for that is, but it's a combination of the two things. So when you go to grab it, it can't slip out of your hand as long as you're holding it. Like, you know, in hand tracking, it can kind of get all over the place and slip out of your hand.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they've been able to combine the two methods of that. And so it's like a sticky hand almost. So you grab it and it sticks to your hand as long as you're grabbing onto it. When you open up your hand, it drops. So I think it's a good combination. But when I was playing that game, I held my hand up and took one of the knives in the knife part, and you could push it through the fleshy part of your hand. And I swear for a second there I could feel it in my hand when I watched the blade go through it.
That's it, man. Like, you literally, if you forget where you are and what you're doing, VR can have that power of like, wow, this is intense. You know what I mean? Like I've always said, the very first day I played VR, the very first time I ever tried VR, I was in the London Heist on PlayStation, and I was in a van with a big bald guy, and there was like, I remember thinking, God, this is really messy in here. And at the time, I've never been in VR, right? So I didn't know what to expect. I was sort of fiddling around and stuff, and he's shouting at me. And I thought, oh, I'll open the door, and I looked down the road. Now, me being like, oh yeah, I'll do whatever. In my head, I thought, oh, I'm going to throw myself out of this car. What would have happened was I would actually throw my physical self across PlayStation floor at EGX and look completely stupid. But what actually, luckily I'm glad it's happened, is I opened the door and I looked down the road and I was like, no way am I getting out of this van, and shut the door. Didn't even occur to me that if I tried, nothing would happen. Do you know I was literally that sold on being in VR that it sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly how it felt. And one of the first demos was rigs, and there was a bit that was removed in the final release of the game, and it's a shame because it's really cool, where I was sitting, but was I sitting or standing? I think I was standing for rigs, and you have a body, and I remember thinking it was my body, so I like moved my legs and arms, but obviously my avatar's doing nothing, it's just standing still. So I'm like, oh, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? And then there was a bit where a robot come down and picked you up by the shoulders and put you in a mech. Now that bit, like literally this hour of VR changed my life to this day. These clamps picked me up and put me in the mech. That feeling of vertigo, I thought, my God, I've left my brain told me I'd left the floor. That's where I'm going with this. It felt like I'd left the floor. And I know exactly what you're saying, and I know exactly how you feel. So, yeah, it's got that power. It's got that power.
It's weird what your mind can think and how it can convince you that it's actually happening based on something that's happening. All these different cues, whether it's visual, audio, all those different things, and then haptic feedback in the future as we get suits that are more compatible, and that's all going to create an experience where you're having a hard time separating it, and then in the moment you'll have a hard time separating from what's real and what's not.
I can't wait, dude. I cannot wait to check some stuff out. So what we got next, we got a game that I think is a Kickstarter. We are going to do a Q&A, guys. So what we wanted to do with the show and the format was deliver the news. Yeah, so the people who wanted to get to the news, and then we can have a Q&A afterwards. So, yeah, we'll go back through the chat, me and Matt, and we'll do what we can and go through some stuff. This game is called, I think it's literally just called VR Giants.
Yep.
Let's have a look. The game retail price is, no, that's the wrong one, sorry. VR Giants, where I've lost my information. 1 second, guys. So I wanted to get the right... because it's in Kickstarter, I want to make sure I get the figures right. So in this game, it looks like the VR person is the giant robot, and the other person, I'm assuming it's all local, is on a controller. So you've got a platformer mixed in with VR. It looks pretty awesome. I'm thinking about getting Mrs. GT on a stream because the developers have contacted me. So I'm thinking of checking this out because I never thought of checking it out until I saw the trailer today. I just remember sitting there, I was thinking, hold on a minute, I've heard that game. And I went back in my emails and they'd sent me something. VR Giants is nearing its modest $11,445 Kickstarter goal. So yeah, they're saying this is from Upload. They're saying it's got a bit of a primitive demo, but it showcases some excellent ideas. So yeah, at some point I will be checking that out. I'm hoping to bring in Mrs. GT, who does help me on this kind of thing because I can't do it on my own. But yeah, I think it looks really good. I think it looks very, very good looking at this trailer, actually. The more I look at... Go on, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, I like anything that you can combine VR with somebody outside of the headset playing. I think it looks like fun.
It looks really good. Like, I can't believe... I felt a bit of an idiot, like, not checking this email or checking this game. I saw it and I was like, wow, actually, this looks phenomenal. It could be excellent.
Yeah, so, it looks really cool. I think that... I'd like to see more games like this where you have interaction between the two people, because some people just aren't comfortable with VR. They're not able to play it based on comfort or whatever it is, or they just don't enjoy it as much, but they like traditional gaming. So I love the idea of mixing those together so that you can work together like this. The trailer shows people working together. So the robot picks up the other player and puts him on a platform. Just the idea of that is really cool.
Yeah, and normally in a game like this, if you've played like Guardians or whatever it's called, The Last Guardian, you're the platformer and you're relying on that other person automatically to help you. And if you played Last Guardian, you know it's a pain sometimes. To have a real person help you or help each other, it looks superb.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, man, yeah. And last of all, I wanted to talk about a game that I tweeted today, if I can find it, called The Eternal Castle. So I'm going to actually put it over to full screen mode for this one. So we're going to switch over quickly to full screen trailer because I love my... hold on, one second. Oh, no. We're going to be out of thing here. Hold on. We've lost our heads when it plays. If you love pixel art, I think it's quite good.
It looks really cool.
It does look so cool.
definitely a nice retro.
And at the end, if you're old school, you've got the loading sounds. So yeah, like for me, like looking at this game, it just reminds me of games like Prince of Persia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, loads of those kind of games. That's what it reminds me of, things like that. And yeah, I want it so bad. I do want it so bad. Prince of Persia, Another World, anything that's like cyberpunky. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that. I know it's not VR, but when I saw it, it like literally, I just get so excited for things like that. I love pixel art. That's the reason I love Pixel Ripped, is because it takes you back to an amazing time of gaming. So
yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I got a game a little while ago. I can't remember the name of it. That was kind of this style. It wasn't as pixel arty. This one looks way better, but I just enjoy stuff like that. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. So let's now do our Q&A. We're going to go back through the chat. If you've got any questions for us, we're going to have like another 10-20 minutes of, just basically trying to interact with you guys. Unless there's anything you want to add to the news, Matt. Is there anything you wanted to talk about at all?
The only thing I wanted to mention is to see what you thought that the new Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge is going to be. That's supposed to be more information coming out next week on that.
Yeah, is it an arcade or location-based thing? Or...
It doesn't. They haven't announced specifically, but it sounds like it's from ILMX Lab, and it sounds like it's just another VR experience. I imagine another Oculus one because of some of the other stuff that I've seen, and I think that it's just going to be another story for VR.
Have you done the two existing ones, like the robot or the droid fixing and the Trials of Tatooine? I think it's called, isn't it?
Yep, yeah, I've done those ones. I like anything Star Wars.
Yeah, something they can do no wrong. It's like everything's amazing. So, what was it like for you going into Vader Immortal then? Because if you're a fan of Star Wars, I love Star Wars obviously, but I wanted to see what you thought of that.
It was almost, I don't even know what word to describe it. Standing in front of Vader the first time was like awe struck. You know, I was just standing there like, wow. This guy's big.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. His shoulders are so broad. I'm like, man, I want them shoulders. You know what I mean?
And then in the second one, I think it was the second one with the Rancor type thing. That attacks you. I mean, it's just a dream come true for people that love Star Wars. And I think it's the only. I've been playing Star Wars games forever. You know, Jedi Knight, Dark Forces, all the way, back from the original real Star Wars PC games. I think that it's a cool progression to see things that I love coming into virtual reality. Yeah,
and there's also the whole collection's coming to PSVR as well.
Yeah, which I don't know when that's. Have they announced the timeline for that yet?
I can't remember. I mean, it's definitely. I think I'm just off memory. I think it's this year. I think it's in fall. I'm not sure. There might have been a date, but then I keep thinking about Squadrons. So
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I bet you're well hyped for Squadrons as well, dude.
I can't wait to jump in and play that game.
Yeah, that's going to be epic. Literally, as soon as it come up, dude, I pre-ordered it on Steam straight away. And then I done like a watch-along of the trailer because I was just like, like when you get so hyped or excited about something, that's exactly what happened with Squadrons. I was like, dude, again, VR is making my dreams come true. That's what it feels like. So yeah, let's go through the chat. I don't know how far to go back. We've got Derivatives says, thanks GT stream. I picked up Vertigo Remastered. No, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. That's what me and Matt are all about. Basically, we are supporting VR. Yep. And if you buy something or make a purchase because of our videos, and we've given it our praises, then that's amazing. That is amazing.
Let's see. Someone said, oops, where did it go? Hi, BMF, you're the Quest specialist. Do you know if there's a way to play side quest games on Rift S? The games over there are getting better and better. Some of the games have a version for both Quest and Rift S, depending on what the game is. But no, there's no way to play the APKs on side quest on the Rift S because they're designed for Android platform, which is what Quest is, and Android doesn't support that.
No. Wambi Wamby. He says, I have no friends who have an Oculus Quest. Dude, there is a community out there. You just need to find. I've got a Discord, but each game these days has a community as well. Yeah. So you can just basically put in that game and put in Discord, and you can meet up with that community. So if you've got a favourite game on the Quest or something, then do that. Eric Hartley, I'm assuming when we're talking about the multiplayer update, he says all of this still requires a Facebook login.
Yeah.
So
the multiplayer stuff does, but you can always create an account and just throw some information in there, and then just have a separate account if you need to. If it's something you really want to do. Unfortunately, it's Facebook. We can't really say much more than that.
Oh, nice. Eric Hartley, someone I had on the show a while back. Chris Richardson wrote to him and said, love your vids. You turned me onto Marvel AR headsets, and he snagged one for £20. Yeah, do you know what? I saw Eric's vid on that as well. I really wanted one, but there's still like £70 over here. You can only get the Star Wars one. You can't get the Marvel one. But yeah, it was a little bit too high for me to invest in that just for a whim. Do you know what I mean? So... yeah, that looked pretty cool. Have you ever seen that AR thing? Have you seen the AR headset that you put your mobile phone in?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've never used it. I have seen it. I did watch part of that video. I want to go back and watch the rest of it. But
is it Lenovo? Is it Lenovo? Who made that?
Yeah, yes, I think it is, isn't it?
It is. I don't know. Yeah,
I think it's what it is.
Nice.
Let's see what we got here.
Derivative says, so Cookout, the sandwich, it'd be like Star Trek Bridge Crew Cooking Edition. Oh, I love Star Trek Bridge Crew.
I've played a little bit of that, but another one that I really haven't delved deep enough into.
Dude, we've got to get... Okay, so we need to plan some streams. It sounds like it. Star Trek Bridge Crew is one of my all-time favourite VR games. Still to date, I think I've put more hours into that game than any other. I absolutely love it. So we'll have to sort that out one day.
Yeah, I'm sure having people that you actually play with is a lot better. I've only really played it just messing around with it without other players.
Yeah, I love it. I'm happy to be any role, but I love being a captain just because I feel I've put my hours in. Do you know what I mean? I've done every role and played it and learnt it, and then I moved on, and then eventually I kind of got to a spot where I was like, yeah, I'm happy now. I'm comfortable. I know what I'm doing.
Let's see. Have you played Penn and Teller VR? Have you played that one? Jack said that.
I did. I didn't. I don't think I made a video because I was like, I don't get this game. It was very strange for me. What about you?
Yeah. I played a little bit of it, but I was like, I don't really know. I didn't really get it. I mean, it was meant to scare people, I think, to trick people, but it was very weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Like catching a bullet with your teeth, it just is weird.
Yeah, I was finding it really strange. I was a bit like, I don't know what they want from me with this game. I don't know if anyone else enjoyed it, but yeah. So I need to minimize that. There we go. Basically, my chat on Thingambob messed up. So where we got? There we go. So Carson, he has put. Oh, Cornerstone. Does anyone know if in Death that comes 23rd? It comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow.
Comes out tomorrow, Cornerstone.
Yeah, and there's actually was another update this week on that too, that they're coming out with additional content for the Quest version. More DLC.
Nice. And free locomotion is on the way.
And free locomotion. Yep.
Amazing.
So I mean, and it's going to be great. And they're not bringing the DLC as of yet to any other platform. There's no plan on it for right now. So it's exclusive to Quest.
I wonder if that's because it's a different developer.
Yeah, I was reading about it, and they said that essentially the other version was a totally different version, and I can't remember the name of the original developer. Is it?
Oh God,
I can't remember what it is. But whatever the developer was that did it initially, Sulfar, is that what it is?
Sulfar, yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that the developer of this version, Super Bright, said, okay, so that was Sulfar's In Death. This is Super Bright's In Death, and it's designed for Quest with additional content. So they're not planning on going back and doing anything with the other versions of it, because those were essentially a different game built anyways for other platforms.
How do you do that? How do they manage? How do you do that? How do you just go, I like your game, I like the name, I'm literally going to do everything you did, but add some more and then not
Yeah.
involve you. I don't know. I didn't
don't
get it.
I have no idea. No, I don't know either. I mean, I understand when it comes to other IPs that someone like Oculus owns, for instance. If Oculus owns an IP or they own a company that has an IP and they license it out to another company to make something else, kind of like I guess what they did with for the Quest game with the robots. I'm running a blank right now. Robo Recall.
Oh, dude, I love Robo Recall
because that was a different developer than the original one too.
Yeah.
That was the original one was one developer, and then they brought it over to another developer. In fact, the developer that did Lies Beneath did the Robo Recall port for the Quest. But
hold on a minute. Hold on. So someone's just told me that there's new Squadrons gameplay.
there is.
And we are gonna. Oh my God! Shut up. We're gonna check that out together.
I love the little bobblehead.
Yeah, that's well weird, man. All right, let's get rid of that.